Stand in the middle of your kitchen for a second and look at your four big appliances: the refrigerator, the range, the dishwasher, and out in the laundry room, the washer. There is a good chance they wear four different brand names, and you chose each one on purpose, comparing brands, trusting that they came from four different companies who each did things their own way. Here is the fact that is going to sit with you for the rest of this video. Those four badges very likely trace back to just three corporations. And the day your Maytag finally died, and you swore out loud that you would never buy another Maytag as long as you lived, and you marched out and bought a different brand instead, there is a very real chance you carried home the same machine, built by the same company, on the same line. Tonight, I am going to show you the map they would rather you never see. Let me be careful and precise, because there is an easy version of this story that is wrong, and I am not going to tell you that one. The easy version says, all appliances are secretly identical. That is not true, and you would catch me if I said it. What is true is more specific and more interesting. It is called badge engineering, or relabeling, and it works like this. A manufacturer designs one core machine, the platform. That platform is the tub, the motor, the wash system, the pump, the control board, the real guts of the thing. Then they wrap that same platform in different sheet metal, put a different logo on the door, change the knobs and the price, and sell it as 2 or 3 or 5 different brands. The badge is marketing. The platform underneath is the machine. So the question that actually matters when you shop is not what name is on the door. It is which platform is under it and which corporation built it. And that map is much smaller than the wall of brands at the store makes it look. Let me walk you through it, because once you have seen it, you will never shop the same way again. Start with the biggest one. Whirlpool Corporation does not just sell Whirlpool. Whirlpool also owns Maytag, it owns Amana, it owns KitchenAid, it owns JennAir, and it owns Roper. 5 names, 1 company. Now move to the next aisle. Electrolux owns Frigidaire, and it owns Tappan, Kelvinator, and Gibson. Different badges, 1 parent. And then there is the one that surprises people the most. General Electric, that famously American name, sold its appliance business years ago. A Chinese company called Haier bought GE Appliances back in 2016, and today, Haier is the company behind the GE badge, along with Hotpoint, Cafe, Profile, and Monogram. The name on the door says one thing. The company behind it says another. Now here is the distinction I promise to keep honest, because this is exactly where people go wrong. Sharing an owner is not the same thing as sharing a platform. Whirlpool owning Maytag does not automatically mean every Maytag is a rebadged Whirlpool. A top-of-the-line JennAir is not the same machine as a bargain Amana, just because one company owns both. Different tiers really are different machines. But within the same tier, at the same price point, on the same shelf, badge engineering is everywhere. A basic Maytag toploader and a basic Whirlpool toploader can be, and often are, the same platform with different trim. So when your machine dies and you switch from one of those badges to the other, thinking you have escaped, you have simply bought the same guts a second time. That is the trap, and it is built out of the logos themselves. If you are the kind of person who would rather know who actually built your machine than trust the sticker on the front, then subscribe to Still Running, because cutting through the badges to the real platform underneath is exactly what we do here. Now let me give you the one piece of proof that no marketing department can spin, because it is a matter of public record. You do not have to take my word that one machine hides under many names, because sometimes the same unit is sold under a whole pile of badges at the very same time, and every so often, something forces that fact out into the open. In 2025, a single manufacturer named Midea had to recall its window air conditioners, and the recall covered about 1.7 million units. Now read the list of brand names those identical air conditioners had been sold under. Midea, yes, but also Comfort Air, Danby, Frigidaire, Insignia, Keystone, Mr. Cool, Perfect Air, and more. Nearly a dozen different brand names, on the shelf, at different prices, and underneath every single one of them, the same machine from the same factory. To be clear and fair, that particular recall was about a drainage problem that could let mold grow, not about the unit failing early. I am not using it to say those air conditioners were junk. I am using it because it is the cleanest proof you will ever see that one machine routinely wears many badges. When the recall came, they could not pretend otherwise. The list gave it away. Let me make this concrete, because it is easy to say and easy to doubt. Picture 2 washers sitting side by side on the same shelf. One wears a trusted old American name and costs a little more. The one right next to it wears the parent company's budget label and costs a little less. Pop the lids on both and you may find the identical tub, the identical wash motor, the identical control board, the identical everything that can actually break. The difference you paid extra for was the logo on the front, a slightly nicer dial, and the quiet feeling of buying the better brand. The parts that decide whether that machine lasts 10 years or 20 are exactly the same because they came off the same line on the same morning. You did not buy a better machine, you bought a nicer costume wrapped around the same one. Here is the re-hook, the thing to carry out of this. The wall of brands at the appliance store is not a wall of choices, it is a wall of costumes. Behind it stand a small handful of corporations, each running a few platforms down a few lines, and dressing them up in as many logos as the market will reward. That is not a conspiracy in a dark room. It is ordinary business, and it is legal. And it is why the illusion of choice is so convincing. But it does have a cost to you, and the cost is this. Your brand loyalty and your brand grudges are mostly aimed at costumes. Think about what that does to the one move every burned customer makes. Your appliance fails too young, and you get angry, and you promise yourself that this company will never get another dollar from you. So you switch brands. It feels like justice. But if you switch to another badge owned by the same parent, running the same platform, you have punished no one and changed nothing. You have handed the same corporation your money twice and taught it nothing. One viewer said it perfectly. They asked, "Do they really think I am going to buy the same brand again after it failed on me so fast?" And the quiet, uncomfortable answer the industry is counting on is yes, because you might buy the same machine again without ever knowing you did. And understand why they do it, because it is not cartoon villainy. Designing a washer or a compressor from the ground up costs a fortune. So a company that owns a solid platform wants to sell it as many times as it possibly can, under as many names, at as many prices as the market will bear. One machine, 5 badges, 5 spots on the shelf, 5 separate chances to catch a different shopper walking the aisle. That is not a secret plot hatched in a back room. It is simply how the math works when the engineering is the expensive part and the sheet metal is cheap. The badges are not there to inform you. They are there to fill the wall and to sell you the feeling of choice. So what do you actually do with this? First, stop shopping the badge and start shopping the platform. 2 machines that share a maker and a tier often share their failure points too, so reading the name on the door tells you far less than you think. Second, look past the logo to the model number and the specifications, the tub material, the type of transmission, the warranty on the major parts, because those describe the platform, and the platform is what you are actually buying. Third, when a salesman tells you this brand is more reliable than that one, ask him who makes it, and watch how often he does not know. The badge is designed to make you feel like you are choosing between rivals. Much of the time, you are choosing between cousins. Now here is the one upside hiding in all of this, because it is not all bad news. If many badges share a platform, then many badges also share parts. The pump in your off-brand washer may be the very same pump used across 3 other names, which means it is common, it is cheap, and a good repair tech can actually get it. A shared platform can make a machine easier to fix, not harder, as long as the platform itself was built to be serviced in the first place. The real trouble is never that 2 brands are related. The trouble is when the shared platform underneath them was the cheap, sealed, disposable kind. Then all you have done by switching from one badge to another is buy the very same weakness a second time. I am not telling you every appliance is the same, because that is the lazy lie, and you deserve better than that. I am telling you something more useful and more true. A small number of companies own most of the names. Many of those names share machines within a tier, and the badge on the front is the last thing that should decide your purchase, not the first. Once you can see the map, the store stops being a hall of 100 choices and becomes what it really is, a handful of factories wearing 100 hats. If you want me to keep pulling the badges off these machines and showing you who really built what, then subscribe to Still Running. Then go back and look at those 4 appliances in your kitchen and read them not as 4 brands, but as a short list of factories. That is the truer picture, and once you have seen it, you cannot unsee it.